Everyone, welcome to the Gaming X. Today we're going to be taking a look at our review of Her Majesty's Spiffing on the Nintendo Switch. Now before we do jump into the review though, if you enjoyed the video today, remember to give it a like below, leave us a comment with your thoughts, or even just hit subscribe. Now with that being said, let's jump in and see if Her Majesty's Spiffing is worth adding to your collection. So the story here, and following Brexit, England has found itself increasingly isolated from global society. Frustrated by the demise of her once great nation, Her Majesty the Queen concluded that the elected representatives at Westminster were no longer fit to govern her United Kingdom. Establishing Spiffing, or the Special Planetary Investigative Force for Inhabiting New Galaxies, Her Majesty turns to the stars to establish a new galactic British Empire. So here you're going to take on the role of Captain Frankly English and his Welsh colleague Aled as you travel the stars looking for inhabitable locations. No matter where you are from, this game has a great sense of humour and storyline. It's not just the stereotypical jokes, but there's some fantastic visual humour, pop culture references, and even a number of moments where they opt to break the fourth wall. It's very much a throwback to point and clicks of the past, and clearly games like Monkey Island and especially Grim Fandango have had an influence, and rightly so. These are the classics of the genre, and if you are a fan of those, there's a good chance you'll enjoy the storyline here. So graphics and technically speaking, the game is, well, it's great to look at. When I did first see screenshots, I'll be honest, I wasn't sure, but seeing it in action, it's actually got a really nice style all of its own. Due to the ridiculous storyline and the nature of the title, there's some really nice visual flares in here. Characters embody the personalities, there's some great Easter eggs as well, vintage Windows screensavers, cartoon recreations of pop culture icons, and then there's some great looking, if yes small, locations including the ship where the majority of the game takes place. Overall, it's a great looking game, it's uniquely stylized, it adopts the tone of the story well, and it presents some really nice 3D characters and environments, which you don't often see from smaller studios. So gameplay, and I will say adventure games, they've always had a bit of a checkered history with consoles when it comes to controls, but I can confidently say they've made this work, and it works well. First of all, Her Majesty's Spiffing opts to give free movement to Frankly English in comparison to the point and click they could have opted for. Then there's navigating inventory, and it's simple, combining objects and interacting with the environment. It's all been expertly designed to feel second nature with the Joy-Cons on the Switch. I was honestly really surprised. Unfortunately though, I will say that the gameplay here is very repetitive. The entirety of the game is inventory based puzzles, and they're just so very simple. While the tonality of the story and visuals have nailed the genre traits we would expect, they do fall short in gameplay where the creativity seems to be lacking. I never personally found myself challenged or stuck on a puzzle, it was simply navigating to the next location and picking up the necessary object. And this leads to the main problem with this game, and that's the length. I finished this in just over 1 hour, and that was honestly me taking my time. I actually thought it was about to get started when the game ended. They really should have marketed this as an episodic adventure, as it will be a nasty shock for many who pick it up. Finally, audio, and like the visuals and storyline, it's another fantastic job here. All dialogue is recorded, which is great to see. The accents, as an Englishman here reviewing this, they are exaggerated but they're never insulting, and they've captured the tonality of the humour perfectly. The ship and environments always sound alive, as do the few other locations you get to visit, and I've got to say, sound effects wise, it's a fantastic job. Musically speaking, there's actually very little here other than some background filler, but that's really all it needs with such a great sound effect field to build the environments. So the final verdict, and I was having a great time with Her Majesty's Spiffing, and then out of nowhere it ended. What felt like the beginning of the game turned into the entire experience, and that tarnished it for me. The beginner ability puzzles all of a sudden became underdeveloped, and the gameplay sparse. Even the story, which I enjoyed, felt unfinished and episodic, except the game didn't warn me that was going to be the case. What I expected was very different to what I got. Now I will say the story is one I would love to revisit, and I do hope there is a sequel because the characters and humour were really entertaining, and it did feel like a throwback to great adventure games of the past. With more challenging puzzles though, this could have easily been longer and a much more rewarding experience. Now priced at $9.99 however, I can say game length can be forgiven to some extent. If you are looking for the humour of classics such as Monkey Island or Grim Fandango without the challenge, then this could be the game for you, but go in for the story and not the gameplay. The Gaming X awards Her Majesty Spiffing a 6 out of 10. Thanks for watching today, and if you enjoyed what you've seen, then hit like below, leave us a comment with your thoughts, or even just hit subscribe. It's by far the easiest and best way to support this channel, and we appreciate every single one of you. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next Gaming X.